Now that's what I call some grade A master quick catching. Alright, so we're going to be starting out with Rai. It's going to be Swampert versus Abomasnow for the lead. With this one, I just figured, well, I'm going to have to be careful for the energy ball. I don't want to eat that and then have Swampert get baited into it. So we're just going to shield here. They go for Weather Ball. Does a nice shield getting burned. So I'm just going to go ahead and answer back with Hydro Cannon. That's going to get shielded because they were probably anticipating Sludge Wave since I charged up to it. They're going to go for Weather Ball number 2. Yes, I burned my shields, but now it's going to still be in my favor because I hit him with Sludge Wave. There we go. Down goes that. In comes Medicham. We're going to go ahead and go for the Hydro Cannon number 1 here. There we go. Puts it at half health. And then we're just going to keep getting farmed down here. Next up, we're going to bring in Sableye, and then we already know that we can preserve the Sableye here because it only has Ice Punch and Psychic, but for whatever reason, they went for Psychic. I can only imagine that it's the only thing they have, and they had Power Up Punch in the other move slot. So yeah, they're going to go ahead and switch over to their Shadow Swampert. I switched over to Registeel to catch at the perfect time because I know I was going to need to preserve my Sableye for the Medicham. And then they're going to go ahead and burn their Hydro Cannons. I was able to charge up enough to just finish off this Swampert with a Focus Blast. And then they either lagged out or forfeit because there we go. Yeah, they threw the match. Sableye holds the line. Alright, let's jump into it. We are going up against Skitty 1715. It's going to be Swampert leading against an Umbreon. So again, with this one, we're just going to be exchanging some pretty tanky blows. Well, I'm not really the tankiest, but at the same time, we're going to be able to at least hold our own against the Umbreon here. It's just going to be literally firing off Hydro Cannons and Foul Plays until one of us breaks and switches, which is going to be me. So I switched to the Registeel, and then afterwards we're just going to charge up, but we're not going to fire off the Focus Blast because I was being wary about whether or not they were going to switch. So yeah, there we go. And then they switched anyway, and I didn't pay attention there, so I hit him with a Zap Cannon, and I got the attack stat drop. But hey, either way, if we got the attack stat drop, it kind of works in our favor because if they go for an Earth Power like right here, I narrowly survived because of the -1 attack stat drop. So we're going to go ahead and go for Focus Blast, and then they're going to just go ahead and keep chipping away at us while we farm up towards a Focus Blast. Oh, yeah, you know what? So yeah, again, we're going to go for a Focus Blast here because they overcharged, and then down goes the Registeel, and now they have a relatively charged Nidoqueen, so they can fire off an Earth Power if they wanted to, but I just went ahead and let this go through, and there we go. I don't know what they were doing there. They had the opportunity to fire off an Earth Power before they went down, but they didn't. So in comes the Umbreon. They're going to go ahead and spam Foul Play, and then I'm going to fire off one more return. They're probably thinking that I'm going to shield bait here, so I went for a return, and that went through. So now they're going to fire off one Foul Play. I have the Swampert come in to catch this Foul Play. In comes the Deoxys. Ooh, they revealed the Deoxys. So I'm going to go ahead and fire off Hydro Cannon 1. Can't get to Hydro Cannon 2. I get farmed down. In comes a Sableye. That's pretty much what my instinct was telling me. My instinct was telling me to preserve the Sableye, and I'm glad that I listened to it. So we go ahead and farm down as much as we can here, go for the Foul Play, and then take out the Deoxys before they can fire off a second Thunderbolt. And then afterwards, we're going to just finish off this, this Umbreon with one Foul Play, and then they're going to fire off their Foul Play one more time. We're both in the red here, but I'm able to farm down for the win. Team Scizor debuts for the Halloween Cup. Let's do this. It's against Nashik. Anyway, it's going to be Scizor leading against Azumarill. I'm just going to keep on spamming my bullet punches here and then farm up towards an Iron Head. Let that Iron Head go through because I wasn't quite ready to bait yet. That puts the Azumarill into the yellow, like at the just under the halfway point. They're going to go ahead and go for an Hydro Pump. I kind of anticipated that it was going to be a Hydro Pump, so I just went ahead and let that get shielded. I'm going to go for a Night Slash because I was anticipating a shield here, and then that was correct. So now I just charge up yet again and then switch over to a Coffergigas to kind of catch this Hydro Pump. They're going to switch over to Haunter, so I'm just going to get farmed down here before I can get to any charge moves. I bring in Scizor to fire off a Night Slash against this Haunter. And then we're going to go ahead and I think we're going to let the Scizor go down because I figured that like with Charm I can farm down the rest of his team. So Alolan Ninetales is going to come in and do the Charm down, farm down on Haunter, my mistake. And then in comes Beedrill. We're going to charge up towards a Psyshock before they can fire off a Sludge Bomb or Drill Run. And that's going to do it. Yeah, because in comes Azumarill. I farm down with the win. Alolan Ninetales charms the Halloween meta. Let's jump into it. We're up against Beto Padomon. Anyway, Ninetales is leading against the Dusclops. Dusclops is actually pretty tanky, but it doesn't really hit. even with the Shadow state, it just hits like a wet noodle. It's almost not worth carrying on your team. I mean, in theory, something so bulky should do well, but again, because its attack stat is extremely low, it just doesn't really hold up as far as like what it's able to deliver. I guess, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure someone will prove me wrong and make a Dusclops team and then watch it wreck, but historically I haven't had much luck. Anyway, we farm it down with Charm, and then we're going to spam Psyshock 1, and then we're going to switch out to my Hisuian Quillfish with the broken attack animation. Niantic, if you're watching this, or someone please send this to Niantic and let them know that Quillfish is kind of in a frozen state right now. Anyway, yeah, we fired off, I believe, an Aqua Tail and then followed up with a Shadow Ball. They let the Shadow Ball go through. Golbat's going to fire off a Poison Fang. We go ahead and let one more Aqua Tail rip. That should be enough to take out the Golbat. Well, I mean, it should have if they didn't burn their shield. So, in comes the Scizor. I was anticipating Shadow Ball here, so I shielded, and they went for Ominous Wind. That kind of threw me off. Anyway, Shiftry is going to come in. They're going to go ahead and go for a farm up here. I believe they're going to try to go for Foul Play. So, we fire up here. A Iron Head onto the Shiftry, and then they're going to go ahead and launch a Foul Play. I farm down the rest of the way, and then use a Weather Ball Ice on the Golbat for the W. Alright. Right after we farm this thing down. Alright. This GBL lag was super sus. Let's jump into it. Alright, so it's going to be Manu. No, it's Manu 10. Anyway, Ninetales is leading against an Obstagoon, so that already gives me the advantage. And then in comes Dragalge. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Scizor since I can wall Outrage, but they're also going to have access to Aqua Tail to put some pressure on my Scizor. So I'm just going to go ahead and launch a Night Slash here, and boom, they're going to go ahead and shield it because there's no point in launching an Iron Head when I can just spam Night Slash and then do a nice chunk of damage. And now we're just going to go for Night Slash number 3. There we go. Down goes the Dragalge, and then in comes, wait for it, they're waiting for the timer. In comes Obstagoon. I get farmed down, in comes the Ninetales. They're going to follow it up by bringing in Beedrill. So I switch right over to a Hisuian Quillfish with a broken attack animation. Alright, and then afterwards, this is where it starts to get super sus because now I have an advantage, and then once they realize I have the advantage, this is where I get locked in place. I'm just like, that's great. So I originally had the advantage and I was set to win, but now I get hit with magic lag that just comes out of nowhere. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'd say tell me that this person wasn't exploiting without telling me this person was exploiting. Because yeah, I went from like having this match in the bag to losing because I got hit by some weird lag. This is how I flex my shiny Fashion Week Toxicroak. Alright, we're up against Christophalicops. That's a mouthful. And it's going to be unfavorable lead with Frostlass, but we're going to make this work here. We're going to charge up, and then of course they're going to have Shadow Bone to fire off, but we're going to fire off our Shadow Ball to see if they were going to shield because I was baiting with Avalanche and they took the shield, so that kind of backfired, but oh well. Next up, they're going to switch to Toxapex. They caught that perfectly, good for them, but thankfully I have Shadow Venomoth here to farm down with Psychic. I could literally farm this thing down with only Psychic and then just burn some shields along the way. They're going to go for Brine. I went ahead and shielded it because my Shadow Venomoth is going to be the one that needs the shields. And now in comes Marowak, so I'm going to go for Poison Fang Spam. There's -1 on the defense drop. I'm going to shield yet again here to preserve my Shadow Venomoth. Let's see, and then we go for Silver Wind. I don't know what I was thinking, I just went for it. And then they switched out right afterwards. We're going to farm up one more. We tried to farm up, but then they went ahead and got the Crunch to take out the Shadow Venomoth. And now I have my Toxicroak. But here we're going to catch perfectly with the Frostlass to get the Aqua Tail taken out. And then we bring in the shiny Fashion Week Toxicroak with the broken hat because, you know, that thing on its head kind of breaks it. They go for the Mud Bomb. And then we're going to follow it up with yet another Mud Bomb. And then that's going to secure our win while I flex this shiny Toxicroak. Shadow Mawile in the Halloween Cup. Let's jump into it. It's going to be Gabby Munn against, and I'm having a Jellicent leading against a Eradicate. I tried going for Spice Seams this entire time, but since I'm actually trying to somewhat push rating this season, again, I'm not trying to take it too seriously. I just need to at least try to hit Veteran or something, just to say that I still got it. But again, until I see those two big issues with Go Battle League matchmaking get taken care of, then I'm not going to take climbing rating too seriously. Anyway, this is going to be a switch in with Mawile. They bring in a Frostlass. I'm going to just go ahead and chip away at this thing, hitting it with Iron Heads. Ironhead 1 is going to get shielded by Frostlass. It's the move of choice here, basically, just because we can force some shields onto this Frostlass. And then we're going to go ahead and go for Ironhead number 2. That's going to force the second shield, and then now we can just go for one more Ironhead. But we have to be wary about whether or not this Frostlass is going to quick catch on the way out, because it just kind of screams that it's going to happen. They don't switch out, so we go for Ironhead. That's going to take out the Frostlass, and then now that gives us switch advantage. They bring in Eradicate. Can we charm up, charge up? No, we cannot. So we're going to bring in Mandibuzz to farm, and then we're also preserving the, what's it called, the Mawile on the way out, just to see if we can get some clutch plays at the end. They're going to go ahead and go for Poison Fang, get Mandibuzz's defenses dropped by -1. We follow that up with a Foul Play spam. There's the first one, charge up towards the second one, and then hopefully we can get 3 to take out this Golbat, but I'm not really banking on it. We're going to go ahead and go for Foul Play number 2 here. Can we go for 3? There's the second one getting ripped through, and nope. They were able to get a charge move launched before we can get to the third one. They won the speed tie. Oh well, good for them. We have a fully charged Jellicent, so now we can lower this Raticate's attack. Oh yeah, this is what I do. I Bubble Beam spam until they're forced to use Crunch, and then that way I can bring in Mawile with a -2 Crunch, putting pressure on it since Mawile's already got a sliver of health left. So yeah, those 2 Bubble Beams are reduced, down goes Jellicent, I charge up towards an Ironhead, and that's enough to just narrowly secure the victory. So yeah, it's a close match. My brother lucky traded the shiny Registeel to me. Let's flex it. Alright, so up against Delnique. Oh, and if you're wondering what I traded for, it was a Galarian Zapdos, because it's my brother and it had crap IVs, so I just figured might as well give it to him, since I know that he's going to have fun with it. Anyway, they're going to lead against with Body Slam onto Altaria. And by the way, this is also going to be my default Registeel going forward, since it's 1497. I know it's not like ideal perfect IVs and it's like the ultimate meta choice, but deal with it. I'm just using it. Oh yeah, this is also a Spice team, because I got that, and I also got this Lumineon from that like event that happened in Taipei or Taipai, or whatever the name of that city is over in Asia. I got this Lumineon from the research, so I just figured let's make a Spice team and make it triple shiny. So anyway, yeah, Lumineon went down there, didn't get to do much except burn shields and put some waterfall pressure. Altaria comes in to farm down the Vigoroth. And now we just wait for them to bring out a Wigglytuff. We can't get to a Sky Attack before we get charmed down. They're going to go ahead and bring in Diggersby, so I need to burn both of my shields here, but I need to be very careful. I can eat 1 Fire Punch, but I don't want to shield unless I know it's an Earthquake. Since he pretty much did 4 Mud Shots there, I knew a Fire Punch was coming, so I can save my shields. But now I have no choice to use my shields. So we're going to go ahead and just keep farming down with another Focus Blast. Down goes the, what's it called, the Diggersby. There we go, down goes the Diggersby with Focus Blast. Wigglytuff comes in, so now we need to charge up towards a Focus Blast and then get 1 more. And then it's a straight shot. It's just trying to not deal with the humiliation of getting to a Charm Down, Farm Down before I can get to another Focus Blast. It's really close. But yeah, they fire off an Ice Beam. I had a shield for it. We go for Focus Blast, and then that's pretty much game right there. Focus Blast goes through, and then we flex. This is how I flex my shiny Lumineon. Let's jump into it. So this Lumineon is going to be from that Taipei event, that Taipai or whatever it's called, from Asia. I got this from that research. I got really lucky from it, so I just had to build a team around it. I was strangely, yes, I know it's like crappy, and you're pretty much a moron for making a team around it, but we're going for Spice here, deal with it. So yeah, we launched Silver Winds, force a switch here, and then I just thought, you know what, let's go ahead and quick catch here. So they're gonna go ahead and over farm, and then now they have the Pelipper spamming Weather Ball onto the Registeel, shiny if I may add. And then that's Weather Ball 1, 2, 3. They're gonna, yep, this is the third one. I charge up towards the Zap Cannon, and then I try to have it get taken out. I figure that they might be willing to shield it since they burn all of their energy. So yeah, since they burn all their energy, they're more inclined to let the Pelipper go down and then farm up. I don't know why he went for Hydro Cannon. He could have just farmed me down and had that Hydro Cannon ready to fire on the switch in. But either way, they did that. In comes Noctowl, and I just figured, you know what? Let's go for Blizzard and catch him off guard. Can we get him with the Blizzard? Yes, we did. So down goes the Noctowl, and then and then next up is the Swampert. We just gotta farm it down as much as we can. We're obviously not going to win this matchup. We're just going to go for a silver wind here and then force them to switch after, actually force them to take us out. Oh, I actually did switch. I quick caught just for the fun of it. So Hydro Cannon goes through, we farm down, and then we win. After I just pause for a little bit just to have some fun. When you win without using shields. All right, let's jump into it. We're going up against Zeke. Yeah, that was really quick. I had a sloppy recording start there, so whatever. So we have a switch disadvantage. We're gonna go ahead and bring in Luminion and then try to bait. Actually, you know, we try to go for broke here and just hit him with a blizzard. I was thinking, you know what? We catch him by surprise. Great. If we don't, great. Luminion does his thing. Oh, we get him with a blizzard, so that doesn't work. Alright, so yeah, they don't see that coming. Down goes Altaria. We're just going to go ahead and bring in the Registeel and we're going to hit this thing with a Zap Cannon just to get the -1 on attack, and we're able to pull that off. I got really good luck with Zap Cannon this week. I don't know what it is. So I think it's just because it's my brother's Registeel that he traded to me. So yeah, we hit this thing with another Zap Cannon to get the -2. They let Ninetales go down. In comes Stunfisk. We're going to charge up towards a Focus Blast and then force them to burn their last shield here. There we go. Focus Blast gets shielded. We're going to bring in Altaria because we were thinking that we can catch with an Earthquake, but they just kind of anticipated that. So they have a fully charged Stunfisk. We're going to try to get to a Sky Attack, but I'm not really anticipating it. But yeah, we have our shields banked on this. At this point, this is when I would realize, like, you know what? I'm going to try to get to the end here. And they